Bessie's Hope creates generational connections. With more, co-founder of Bessie's Hope, Linda Holloway, along with 16-year-old youth volunteer Josephine and participant Donna.
Okay, Linda, I'm going to start with you. Can you please explain Bessie's Hope and what the mission is?
Yeah, Bessie's Hope is a legacy to my grandmother, and it's all about bringing community awareness into nursing homes and assisted living communities through volunteer programs for youth and adults and families, individuals, and to provide education and training and to actually cultivate mutually rewarding relationships between our volunteers and the elders.
What an incredible concept. Okay, tell me about the process and how is it that you match youth to their older counterparts?
Well, typically a school group or a church group would contact us and we would match them with the closest elder care partner. And then we would provide the training for the youth, the group leader training, activity planning. It's very structured, so we would make sure that all the dates are lined up for however long the group is going to be visiting. And we would facilitate the visits. And then for the elder care communities who contact us to increase their intergenerational program, it's just reverse. We find the schools and other youth organizations, and then we provide all the education and training and preparedness.
Got it. And what kind of benefits have you seen among the participants?
Well, from the elders, we've had comments such as, the Bessie's Hope kids aren't afraid to touch us, which is kind of monumental. And from kids, we hear their stories are so awesome. And that's because they listen. And that's one of the things that we train them. You know, we say, you really do need to listen because their stories you're going to find so incredible, but we let them find that out all by themselves.
Sure. And let's talk to Josephine, who is a volunteer. Josephine, going into this process, what did you think it would be like? And talk to me about where you are today.
Yeah, so I first came in, I thought that it was just going to feel like I was a volunteer and that I also volunteered because I thought it was going to be fun. But once I came in, it felt like I was making friends and it was so much more fun than I had expected. And so the connections that I made were so much deeper than I thought it would be.
And so what have you learned along the way?
Yeah, so I've learned that elders just need you to appreciate them and just to be there for them and to listen to what they have to say. And that's, I think that's enough for them to, yeah.
Well, I think that is wonderful that you did that. Now, Donna, it's time to talk to you. You're a participant. What has being a part of Bessie's Hope meant to you and have somebody, the youth, come and spend time with you?
It is wonderful. It gives us something to look forward to, not just something the doing, but the sharing our life and them sharing their lives. And we can appreciate each other and carry on.
Oh, that sounds just so incredible. And with that, Linda, let's talk about Bessie's Hope. How is it different from other school organizations that also visit nursing homes?
I believe that it is the preparedness because all of our kids are educated to be able to have meaningful interaction with elders of all cognitive functioning levels, including advanced Alzheimer's, and the training of the information about how they are our wisdom keepers. And in our culture, at a very, very, very young age, we tell them, when you were 3 years old, you were given this information without even knowing that the older a person becomes, the less they become, which is entirely the opposite of what is the truth. So I think it's the education and the preparedness.
That's good to know. So as a community, how can we support Bessie's Hope so that you guys can continue to do your mission?
Well, of course, fundraising is always a challenge, and donations can be made on our website. We would love to carry on into the future. And we definitely, now that COVID is past, we're already going back in with live youth groups into some of the places. And we need more staff. So we need donations.
Got it. And Josephine, let's close out with you. For families watching this morning, what would you say to them about getting involved with Bessie's Hope?
Yeah, so I would say that it's really valuable to be able to listen to the stories about the lives that these elders have lived, and it's such a good experience to listen to them. And so, like, especially these days, elders aren't as valued as they were like years ago. So I think it's really good to visit them every once in a while to make sure that they know that there are still some people that value them.
Absolutely. Okay, before I let you ladies go, I want to talk to Donna, and I'm going to ask you something, Donna, okay? What do you think you have learned from the youth, from Josephine coming over, spending time with you?
I was so impressed by the young people in this group. They were warm and welcoming. They stayed longer than I had anticipated. And when they left, the people they had visited, when are they coming back? They really made a good day. And so that tells it all.
Support Bessie's Hope with a donation or volunteer your time. Visit them online to learn more, bessieshope.org.